131.7 gigabytes. This had better be the greatest fucking circle in the entire history of shapes. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know what. For reference, right? The Master Chief Collection has been the #1 game on my Xbox in terms of size. It's been the biggest game I've ever had installed on my console. I'm pretty sure since I've had this, even since the original Xbox One, I'm pretty sure this was the biggest game that I ever had installed. And now here we are in and for instance, I got that in 2015, and then I have now Series X 2024. It has always been the biggest game. It has never lost that spot, and it's 6 games in one. But apparently, Indiana, this circle is so great, it's so spectacular that it can't be contained. It's just too big. It asked me when I first installed this game, it asked me for 300 gigabytes of spare storage space, which is, you know what? Maybe the game's really great. Maybe it's a fantastic Indiana Jones game. I've heard it's a really good Indiana Jones game. In fact, I don't think I've seen a single person online say anything other than that it's an absolute masterpiece and the best thing that Microsoft has put out in over a decade, which, okay, bold claim, but sure, I guess it's possible. It could be. I've been going really back and forth with myself on this game ever since it first was announced, because one, the name is stupid as shit. It's the worst title of an Indiana Jones anything, movie, game, book, whatever the case may be. It's the Great Circle is so laughably stupid. It is a clear as day placeholder name that they just forgot to change. But putting that, because that's superfluous. It's literally just the title. Who cares? Putting aside the fact that the gameplay seems to be mostly first person, seems like a very bizarre choice for an Indiana Jones game where a lot of the appeal is the iconography of being able to see the Indiana Jones hat, his fedora, his jacket, his outfit, just seeing him from the third perspective. I don't know how combat is going to feel in first person, but from the clips that we saw in trailers, it did look like it could be fun. So I don't know. I'm going into this kind of in a neutral state. Like some of it looks good, some of it looks not so good. So I feel like it can only impress me. Let's just say that much. I'm going in thinking, there's probably nowhere to go but up from where my current state is with this game. And I don't know anything about it as far as what the story is, or really much, or how long it is, or really. The only thing I know is that absolutely everyone, has been singing this game's praises relentlessly since it came out last week. So here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. Oh, and also I've seen the spec requirement, the recommended computer hardware requirements for the PC version, and again, just go back to the question of how great is this goddamn circle for you to demand that much of your player base. Also, that's the mountain from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Imagery warning is a fictional story inspired by historical events and characters' names, characters, organizations, locations, events are either imaginary or depicted in a fictionalized manner. Not intended to. How fast do you? I read fast, not as fast as out loud as I do in my head, but I still read pretty damn fast. How exactly? I don't think even if I was reading that in my head, I could have read that in one shot. Without, like, you probably could have given me the option to progress through that manually, but whatever. I'm certain that very hard mode is going to be absolutely terrible to play, and I'm sure I'm going to do it anyway because I'm sure there's an achievement that you can get for beating the game on hard. Oh, they're all secret. Those are my favorite achievement lists, when almost everything is a damn secret. Oh, I guess, okay, maybe it was more than I thought, never mind. It's probably just, this is all story stuff, and then, alright, never mind. But yeah, I'm sure I'll do it, and I'm sure I'll hate it. But for this playthrough, we're just gonna do moderate. Let's keep it normal. Adventure experience. Wait. Oh, okay. I like this. All right, yeah, that's a good start. Different difficulties for different things, but I'm still gonna keep it on moderate. That's the same, and that's fine. Sure. Oh fuck! No, fuck that. So are we doing the We just doing the opening from Raiders of the Lost Ark? Because that's the music from the opening, and then that's, of course, the shot from the opening. My understanding is that this game has nothing to do with any of the movies. It's its own separate adventure. But maybe I'm wrong on that. Oh, my old friend, streamer mode. Set whether licensed music is removed from the game. Removed, right? That doesn't mean replace. You don't replace the music, you just remove it. Because now I'm tempted to turn it on and have Indiana Jones running away from the boulder with no fucking music. Why do you... Can you not... I really wish more studios would do what Hi-Fi Rush does and actually provide alternative music and not just rip out the songs so there's just funny awkward silence. Whatever, we'll leave all this as is. This all looks fine. Let's get started. Yep, this sure is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
We are walking the path of death. What of the curse? Superstition, Satico. Tranquilo.
So, not a great start looking at those plants in front of me. And how they're, like, very clearly fading into existence. Not a great start. But, it's minor. I'm sure it won't get too annoying. But I already don't like that I mean, I knew this was gonna happen. I don't understand the decision to make this game in first person. I just fundamentally don't understand the thought process. Like half of the appeal is the iconography of being able to see the back of Indy's head, seeing that you are playing as him. I could just be the first thing I thought of when I loaded into this game was just, oh, Call of the Sea. It reminds me of Call of the Sea, that game. And I'm guessing this is a place I can't explore. Of course it's not a place I can explore. It's not like we're explorers or anything. Oh, and it's quick time eventing, like pushing the... Okay. The music sounds a lot more muted than it did in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Which, by the way, like, okay, I get that the idea behind this, I'm assuming, because I really wasn't under the impression that this had any connection whatsoever to the movies. I'm pretty sure this is its own unique story, and it's not like, it's not a spin-off of one of the movies. It doesn't take plot elements from one of the movies and do its own thing with it. It's not a retelling of one of the movies. Because, you know, it's the Great Circle. The one and only Great Circle. So what I imagine this is going to be is a thing where it's just the prologue is a throwback to, oddly enough, kind of like what Dial of Destiny does. Except in Dial of Destiny, it actually does have some connections to the main plot. It'll be a thing where it starts out with something you're familiar with, like the part of the movie, like indisputably one of the best openings to a film of all time, the opening to Raiders of the Lost Ark.
If they knew we were here, they would have killed us already.
So like they're getting you, they're trying to hook you in early with something that they know everyone loves. But the problem with that, like the other side of that, is that by choosing to open your game with one of the greatest and most iconic openings to any movie ever, and the thing that kickstarted the entire Indiana Jones franchise, because everyone is so familiar with it and because everyone loves it so much, you are inherently setting yourself up for failure because there's no way to replicate how amazing every aspect of that opening was through this game. And like already, the music is more muted. The faces, the expressions on those two guys did not look like they didn't have the same. It's like they both looked like they had the same general expression on the face compared to each other. Whereas in the movie, Satipo was very obviously, well, at least they wanted you to think that he was more obviously afraid of what they were about to do, whereas the other guy was more chill about it. It's funny given what ultimately gets revealed, but like that's the intent. I did not get that vibe from that cutscene because they looked kind of the same. And again, it's just, I don't know why risk this? Why do this to yourself? Also, need I even mention, like, quick time event, lifting up the tree, whatever. The only way I could see this working is if they actually let you do the, because that's part of what's fun about the Lego game, right? Because the Lego game does the same kind of thing, but like the express purpose of the Lego game is that you are recreating scenes from, well, no, not scenes, you're recreating the entire experience of those movies in Lego form. So like that is the appeal, is taking a really, let me pause real quick so I don't talk over this. Taking a really awesome movie that everyone loves and then converting it into a new format in a Lego format. And the reason why that works is because it's so starkly contrasted against the original format of the thing that they're pulling from, where the Indiana Jones movies are much more gritty and realistic because obviously they were shot live action, they were shot with real stunts, practical filmmaking, and they're not afraid to show some really gutsy, bloody things. Whereas the Lego game, it's rated E, maybe E10 and up, so they can't really do that. So it's more tongue-in-cheek, it's a lot funnier, they lean into a more comedic aspect of it. So it works, it really works. But from a gameplay perspective, you get to play through all the sequences from the movie. So the boulder run sequence, you play through that, you're running away from the boulder, and you're solving the puzzles in the temple, and you're doing all this. So if it was the same thing here, where you are the one who gets to do all those things, that would be cool. But that's not what happened there. Like, yeah, technically, I pushed right bumper, and I initiated a QuickTime event. But, like, I don't consider that actually that's virtually no different than if they just took the cutscenes from the movie and converted it to a Dragon's Lair style game, where the film plays uninterrupted unless you hit a button to make something else happen. It's not like I didn't actually swing the whip towards him like I would in the Lego game or Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings. But, you know, it's still early, so.
Friend of yours?
A competitor. He was good. He was very good.
Senor, nobody has come out of there alive. Please.
You first, senor.
I really don't want to keep harping on about this, but really, why wouldn't you always want to see Indy? Why exactly wouldn't you always want to see whatever. It's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but I'm sure I'll get used to it at some point. The problem is it doesn't feel like I'm playing an indie game. It feels like I'm playing a game like Call of the Sea, a totally different style adventure game. And I'm really not a fan of these QTE style push a button to activate a thing kind of thing. Like push X and pull down to move to part the sea between the webs. Also, it doesn't look like they actually reframed, because like Raiders of the Lost Ark and all Indiana Jones movies are shot widescreen. It does not, oh, please tell me I have to oh, fuck off. I saw it, I count a million miles away too. In the movie, it's shot appropriately. It's shot to fill the aspect ratio. It doesn't really look like they've reframed this to appropriately match the full screen. Because, like, in the scene where we were shaking spiders off of Satibo's back, and this shot especially, like, he's way too far to the left of the... And he wouldn't be too far to the left of the screen if it was widescreen, like it was in the movie. Instead of reframing and restaging the shots, they just cropped the shot, which is very lazy. And again, it's like, this is what happens when you set yourself up. You're playing yourself. You're actively setting yourself up for disappointment by doing this.
It's not good enough.
Because obviously, people are going to compare it.
We'll find out.
Ow. Obviously, people are going to compare it to the movie. Because that's like, you're inviting those comparisons. So like, at that point, why even bother? If you're gonna make it first person until the very last 7 frames, at that point, why even bother? And it's like, I immediately think of Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings, which is a very similar style opening to Raiders of the Lost Ark. Not in terms of, like, it doesn't have the same jungle aesthetic or even the same presentation or reveal of Indiana Jones, but it does have the same idea of you go into a temple and then you take an idol off of a stand and then the whole temple collapses and you have to run to escape before you're crushed to death. I welcome that type of intro, where it's emblematic, it pays homage to the original, to the source material you're pulling from, instead of literally just ripping it one-to-one. And I guess this technically is what I was asking for, right? Physically doing the things that you do in the movie. Like, rather than stepping around all the plates and making your way slowly to the... dramatically waking your way to the pedestal, this is much more meticulous and doesn't really... Also, the music's out of sync. We're not supposed to be at this part of the music yet. It's completely out of sync. Because this is actually really bad. I'm actually very annoyed with how this is going. Like, okay, so the whole... It's supposed to be a gradual climb, like it's a dramatic build as he makes his way down the road. He dramatically takes each step forward, getting closer and closer to the idol, and the music builds in accordance. And because the movie is locked, it's picture locked, the frames aren't going to change. The music is synced in perfect coordination with what's happening on the screen. But you can't do that in a game, at least not the way they've done it here, because the player can do whatever they want. And not only that, but you are making the player do something that didn't happen in the movie by making him or her meticulously place the torch down on each individual pedestal one by one step at a time, sucking all the dramatic tension out of the scene entirely. And you didn't make any adjustments to the music, so the music is already reaching the part that is supposed to play when Indy is swapping out the idol for the bag of sand, even though we're not there yet. It's completely off. Like, if I just sit here... Yeah, the music just runs out. It actually just runs out of music. Because there's nothing left to play. You didn't make any edits to the... Boring. Boring, boring, boring. That's so lame. That's actually so lame. What a cut, by the way. What a cut. They have the music completely out of sync for when you're going up to the idol. It stops. It doesn't loop. There's no clever layering to make it loop in on itself if the player is too fast or too slow. So it goes dead quiet. And then right when you switch the sandbag out, it's like, whoop! One little bit of music again that was supposed to be at the end of the part of the music that you cut off. Not a great... I'm sure they thought that it'd be a really great tone setter to pull you into the world with Indiana Jones by paying homage. I'm sorry, not paying homage, by directly ripping the thing from the movie that everyone really loves. But you can't, it is designed to work in the medium of a film, and you are active. You know what? I even think the Lego game did a better job at doing things with the music to where it didn't feel that out of place. Whatever. escaping the temple.
Give me the whip.
Oh. See, my brain... Oh, that was some lighting right there. I was under the impression that it was going to be yet another QuickTime event thing. Interesting. It was going to be another QuickTime event thing. Because it's all been QuickTime events so far. Like, it was going to stop me, but no, it did not stop me. Okay. So... How? Yeet.
Give me the whip!
Adios, señor.
Uh-huh. That definitely didn't look like a jump that he was going to make. Why cut to a cutscene if you just... They did this when I crossed the jump the first time, too. I did the very first jump, like the first few frames were gameplay, and then it cut to a cutscene. Oh, and it's dawned on me, by the way, that the boulder scene is going to... Oh, lame! Come on! That is just boring. You didn't even... Alright. Yep, it's...
Sullivan America.
Yep. Yep, it's just... If I can't see the boulder, what's the goddamn point? Okay, so now what was the point? What was actually the point of any of that? I'm waiting. I'm...
Like a labyrinth.
Like waiting.
So, inarguably, the Lego game did that better, right? It was third person. You were running towards the camera, just like Indy was in the movie. You could see the boulder. You could see the characters. There were even different conditions. Like, there were different cutscenes that played based on whether you made it out in time or if you weren't fast enough and you failed enough times. Like, there was technically a losing cutscene where the ball was rolling over the characters. Meanwhile, it's just first I can't see the boulder. If there was no sound, I wouldn't even be able to tell. It was, that's one of the most iconic things in cinema, is Indy getting chased by the goddamn boulder, and you can't even fucking see it. And I'm waiting for the part where they explain to me how that has any relevance to the story. Maybe it will, you know, I'm open to it. It could tie in somehow. Oh, are we doing Dial of Destiny Indiana Jones now, where Indy wakes up and actually, that's literally what happens in Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny, is he wakes up and then he's like, oh, these damn kids these days. That's literally what happens in Dial of Destiny. Huh? Okay. Current exhibit, I don't care. Yeah, not impressed. In fact, I'd say that actually accomplished the exact opposite of what they very obviously wanted to accomplish there, which is, look, the thing, because on paper, the idea would be that it gets you used to the controls of the game in an environment you're already familiar with and in a part of the Indiana Jones story you're already familiar with. But all I can think about is how much worse that was than the original movie you're pulling from. And also, I can't even say that it really got me used to the controls because most of it was just QuickTime events and cutscenes. So that's not great. Confront the intruder. Who is it?
Can't sleep here.
I will say this, Troy Baker's doing a remarkably good impression of Indiana Jones. The character I'm watching on screen is a fucking wimp, apparently, which Indiana Jones definitely is not.
Whatever you're up to, pal, it ends now.
Is that the best you got?
Let me guess, is some new character gonna come in and save his ass? Or is this or did I fail? Was I supposed to fail that, or did I actually fail? That seems too elaborate for. Oh no, that is just the open. That is the open. That. Like all that wants. All that I want to do right now is stop playing this game and just watch Raiders of the Lost Ark. That doesn't. That's not.
I'd wondered where you'd got to. What happened?
He was a fucking idiot.
Who?
The giant.
I didn't see any giant.
I caught someone breaking into the museum. He was tall. He took something.
Well, did you see his face?
Scarred. Dark skin. He spoke some form of Latin.
Latin? Well, that is...
Although I say that, but now that I'm listening to him, it feels like he's like almost trying too hard and being too exaggerated with his performance right now.
Yes, righto.
On lines, like he's putting too much emphasis on lines that probably don't need that much emphasis.
Ransacked. Is there anything missing?
Let's have a look. Ancient Egyptian, obviously. A depiction of Bastet.
We should look around for the exhibits that were in this display.
Let me see here.
Do we have to just put
Terracotta.
everything?
Likely Babylonian, not a Baroque.
I don't know country flags, so this, were those the only three? Because if those are the only three, I can probably do it just through deductive reasoning and process of elimination. So it's just these three? Alright. Let's see, so it's jewelry, rocks, and then tablet stuff. So where was that? This one has... Are there any of these symbols? Those are symbols?
Duck one here, right, Marcus?
Quite right.
And then I wish I remembered which one they were talking about when they said, because the two of them have the same flag, and two of them are from the same place. So it was whichever one wasn't that. Although I guess there are four here. So maybe it's just four artifacts in only three places. This is like it could easily go there. Yeah, because that's right in line with the other ones. And then it wasn't this one.
No.
And it's not, so I guess there are more artifacts. I thought it was just gonna be, oh, there's other, okay, never mind, there's other ones over here. I missed these. More stone. And then, okay, that seems like a good place for this. Okay, hold on, let's move these over here. Because neither of these go here, so they have to go over here. This absolutely goes here. It's the exact same style as the other ones, and then by process of elimination, this has to go here.
Ah, well done, Indiana. So, is everything back?
Not quite.
Well, what's missing? SW 003. What was that?
Siwa expedition. He took the cat mummy, Marcus. But why?
The thief may have left a clue to their identity.
Yeah. Let's keep looking.
Well, the footprints went off this. There is noticeable instances of the lighting and just textures and lighting just not loading in a natural way.
Exhibits are all over the floor.
Actually, it seems like only those. Everything else is mostly untouched. There's just random debris around to make it look like things were damaged. It was only those specific cases that were lost in the shuffle. Wet floor.
I feel sorry for whoever has to clean up this mess before Monday.
I remember that time the doctoral student snuck pigs into Dawson.
Smooth. Very smooth. Dialogue just stopped for seemingly no reason.
How did they get out? The front doors were locked. A broken window.
Marcus?
Maybe
help me
he
out
got
here.
out the same way he came in. Coming in. Oh, don't mention it.
That's just so. Why? Why? First person, third person, and then immediately back into first person. Like, it didn't even. I don't understand the logic. I don't get it.
Is it?
Must have got caught when he left through the window.
Let's retire to your office and figure this out.
Good idea. Somebody sure went to a lot of trouble to steal a cat mummy.
It was a beautiful piece. You found it in Siwa, didn't you?
Yeah, 6 weeks ago. Something about...
That looks Catholic to you, doesn't it?
It's the sigil of the Vatican's secret archive, if I'm not mistaken.
This isn't just about a cat mummy, Marcus.
What are you going to do, Indiana?
I'll need my classes covered, of course.
Indiana,
Dawson seems the likely choice. Maybe Kittredge?
oh, look. Someone's left you a gift. How long has that been in there?
I haven't opened this suitcase for a year. Not since Cairo.
So that's Marion's theme.
You aren't going to
course
open
it
it?
is.
It's a beautiful journal, isn't it? Who's it from?
Doesn't say.
Of course it is. So is that going to be how they justify it? They're going to justify it by saying, I haven't opened this since Cairo. And the note from Marion, neither of which were featured inside the opening scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark, except for right at the end where they had Indy screaming about, or they had memories of Marion screaming at Indy not to leave him behind in the, Sure, whatever it takes. Maybe throughout the story there'll be a much more intelligently conceived of way to connect Raiders of the Lost Ark to this game. But from what I've seen so far, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not convinced of that will be the case at all. Do I?
You know, you can talk to me.
Please tell me I have to physically pack.
There's nothing to say, Marcus. This will be a nice gift.
Oh, please tell me I have to physically pack all of his things.
She rang me. Did I tell you that? 2 months back, when you left for Siwa.
Yeah, we wouldn't want players to do actually fun things like whipping the guy's gun out of his hands. That will make a cutscene or a QuickTime event, but will definitely make a gameplay sequence of packing Indy's
It wouldn't have made a difference.
fucking suitcase.
She had her mind made.
Also, I frankly struggle to care about this development, whatever they're gonna do with Indy and Marion in this game. Because I've seen Dial of Destiny, and I know how that ends up.
Was setting out on another foolhardy. Though I must admit I am intrigued. Why would the Vatican want your cat money.
Exactly. And there's only one way to find out.
Come now, Indiana, you can't travel to Italy. The college would never sanction leave for this. Not in the middle of midterms. I mean...
Marcus, what's done is done. Maybe I shouldn't have gone to the Siwa expedition, but it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
And when you got back, she wasn't there.
I gotta go.
Can't just run away from your problems, Indiana.
Watch me.
What an awesome hat. I can't wait to never see it for 90% of this game because it's in first person.
On next plane to Rome. Stop. Need help. Stop. Meet me in Vatican. Stop. Indy.
My friend, stop. Vatican not safe. Stop. We'll wait for you at village steps. Stop. Subtlety is a virtue. Stop. Antonio.
Okay. Village steps. Should be on the other side of this fortress.
Yeah, I think I'll leave things there for now. This is annoying. So, it's totally possible that the game just got out to a really bad start and that once, because we haven't really gotten into any proper gameplay yet, right? We just had the recreation of Raiders, which was crap, and then we had the little puzzles thing with the statues. What I've heard of the story from just this opening episode has not been promising, but we know nothing about it, so I'm less solid on that. Gameplay-wise, we haven't seen. I'm willing to give this game the benefit of the doubt and say that it just got out to a really, really bad start, and that once we get into proper temple exploration and proper puzzle solving, proper combat, that'll get better. And that it just put it just had its priorities way out of whack and put a really terrible first foot forward. That could be the case. But and telling you, it's going to be really, really hard for them to. This game's going to have to be really, really good for them to overcome the hurdle of it being in first person. And if this is supposed to be the best thing Microsoft has put out in over a decade, I'm not seeing it so far. But who knows? Anything can happen. That'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time. I hope to catch you all tomorrow for some more Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. What a stupid name. Goodbye.